This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Four teams are ready to take the stage, and it's do or die if they want a shot at bringing home a trophy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 4 of Valorant Masters Tokyo, coming at you live from the TipStar Dome here in the beautiful city of Chiba. Of course, I'm Golden Boy, and this pre-show is actually going to be off the rails and utterly unhinged because Brendan Sideshow are here on the desk with me here today. Hello, fellas. How are you doing?
That's just rude, that intro. We are professionals of the highest caliber.
Listen, I'm going to get my seat ready. I'm going to adjust my seat. You can see it right there. I'm not ready for that.
I am an incredible professional. I've matched my attire to match the same color as the plat symbol in game as well. So it's going to reflect my analysis for the day as well.
Wonderful. We cannot wait. All right, well, first, let's get into what happened yesterday because we had a triple header that could have very well had gone 9 games, and I think our production team's very happy that it didn't. But first, we kick things off with T1 and NRG. Now, I was so stoked for this game. It felt like the temperature of the room was like, we'll see, but I knew that this game was going to bang, and it definitely brought it. I mean, Brent, you couldn't have asked for a closer matchup between these two teams.
No, this match was dope, I think, as well, especially because a lot of the expectations were that NRG was just kind of run away with it.
Yeah.
It was going to be a really clean fight, but T1 brought it to a man multiple times. They made it so damn close against one of the top teams at this event where people are predicting them, quite highly.
And I'm amazed they did, because didn't they start down like 0-6 or 0-7 on the final map, and they still almost got it to OT? Like, ridiculous scenes.
Yeah.
But NRG prevailed.
Yeah, they certainly did, and now they move on, and we'll see how far this NRG team can go, but all signs are pointing to the uncrowned Kings of NA looking quite good. But then we go to back-to-back elimination matches, and it's always sad to say goodbye to a team, but we start things off with FUT and Attacking Soul Esports. And this game, Sideshow, there's a lot that can be said about this game, but the one thing that I will say is it was nice to just see FUT go back to the fundamentals that brought them here to begin with.
Yeah.
And then Kiwi gets an ace.
Yeah, I mean, Kiwi, self-proclaimed world's best Neon. There you see the kind of reasoning why. FUT looked good, and it's nice that they got that win under their belt at the international level.
That match was proper jail Valorant. I mean, that was like, I was watching that, I was like, there is no nuance, man. The mid-round and out the window, we're taking fights.
That's what you need.
It was up front, man. It was up front as well. The gloves were off. Yeah.
But hey, I was all for it. And then, of course, the gloves came off again, well, at least for EDG, as we talk about EDG versus Na'Vi. We were all, Sideshow, excited to see if EDG can pick up their first international win. If a Chinese team can do it,
did they do
gosh
it?
Darn, they done did it.
They done did it? Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, this was crazy. EDG and making it into OT, name a more iconic duo. And then the level of clutches in this game. The level of individual skill in the game.
Always.
And this was an elimination match that sent Na'Vi back to LCQ.
Yep.
Oh my god.
This match had it all. It had stakes, it had the storylines as well, the kind of pride that was on the line for a team like EDG. It came so close, so far at every single international event until now. Finally got that win over. And
he was shaking at the end of the game.
I'm not surprised, man.
Shaking with
there was some primal roars occurring from across the stage as well. I mean, we were casting it, man, but he was going crazy for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is just an absolute savage.
Yeah, popping off. This is exactly what you love to see. Also, with that win, FUT have solidified themselves top 3 EMEA.
Yep.
So, as you said, Na'Vi to the LCQ. And for FUT, well, I guess they're playing with house money. We know all about that in Americas with EG. So we'll see how that plays out for FUT. But with the first 3 days of Masters Tokyo in the books, here are the brackets. As we mentioned, EG, they march on forward. They're living life pretty, well, probably in a dungeon training, getting ready for their games, as they await the winner of DRX and FUT, which is going to be our first match of the day. Very excited about that one to see what they do with this quick turnaround, Sideshow, because this genuinely is not easy to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, playing back-to-back in this kind of fashion, it's not simple, but I think, that's the rigor of playing at a tournament level like this. It's very different from the regular season, and some teams thrive under that kind of pressure.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And then, of course, later we're going to have T1 facing on EDG as we look at the other side of the
rematch.
groups here, and yes, we're going to have another rematch. You see it there. T1 got the better of EDG in the past, but Bren, did that win against Na'Vi essentially light a fire under Edward and his gaming team?
Yeah, I think this is, they've broken past the obstacle that they came here to play. They came here to get their first win. And now, honestly, the sky is the limit. Yeah, we use the phrase playing with house money to a degree as well. I think EDG just wanted to get that experience as well and make that top 8, right? They said that prior, I believe, that was their goal for the event. And so now they're one step away. One match away. But they do have to go up against T1, and they are feeling just as determined. The fact that T1 have had the mental composure to be able to bring back multiple maps against teams when they've been down, I think speaks worlds as well about their confidence levels as well coming into these matches.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And of course, we'll see those teams take the stage in a little bit here. But here's the thing: when you look at the group stage brackets, are your ears like ringing at all? Like, do you get like a sense of deja vu? Because I kind of feel like we've seen these results before.
You don't know how a group works.
Yeah, I don't know how this is working. Foot down there, attacking Seoul Esports. I'm having Foot going through.
You're having Foot beat attacking Seoul Esports? Yeah, I'm on board with
that's
that.
what I'm going with, yeah.
We were doing a groupology segment. We were making the bracket ourselves. So far, we are 100% correct.
100% correct.
You're looking at the oracle.
But wait, look at his shirt pocket, and he vetoes it.
Okay.
It just creates carnage. So this is where the contention comes from here. And, here's the thing. We look at this and we're like, oh, this is great. Everyone's having a good time. We're making the bracket. It's fun. We didn't think that this was actually going to happen. And now here we are.
We did.
Yeah, we did. That's why
we built it that way.
But we did disagree about this match. I was forced to use my red card, my veto card, and I maintain I was correct.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I have to ask the question because you guys clearly are on two sides of the aisle on this. It's a partisan divide.
It is.
Okay, do you still think DRX is going to win here today, Sideshow?
Emphatically, absolutely.
Unequivocally, undisputably,
undisputably, yes, indubitably, DRX always winning groups. Look at that record. It speaks for itself.
Wow.
I don't need to know English because DRX, the numbers speak
They always
for
win in
itself.
groups. What's the most recent result?
A loss in groups, but the rest of the time, they always win in groups. DRX do not lose. That's why I use my veto, because Foot are not beating them here. DRX always make it out.
Well, I wanted to have Foot going through against them.
Okay, all right. So you think Foot are going to win this matchup? Go ahead, show your homework.
I mean, with so much confidence, I think so, because guess what? I knew that Na'Vi were going to lose to EDG, and I knew that they were going to get their top 3 locked in. I knew that they were going to have champs locked in, and now it's going to be so much more free. And look, Los Angeles, we are coming. Listen, Foot have qualified for champs with this. They don't have to go back to LCQ. It's a tremendous weight off their shoulders, and I think it's going to be so much more freeing them coming into this matchup. They're playing their game. It was very adverse to the online performance that we saw from them when they're playing as well to kind of qualify for Tokyo, I would say. I think that they were lacking a lot of that in nuanced, intelligent play. It was very brutish at its core. That was their gameplay that I was seeing. And I know that they can do better. And I think...
Objection!
Wait, what?
Objection!
How?
Where's
Your
your
Honor,
mallet?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've forgotten my mallet today.
Okay.
But also, I don't
have one either.
I don't think the prosecutors have mallets, to be honest.
No,
with you.
I'm the one that's supposed to have a
objection.
mallet.
Objection.
How do
okay.
they call the objection if they don't have a hammer?
Shut up.
Sustained.
Shut up.
Sustained.
Okay?
What do you object?
Foot are not going to be able to play Lotus today. Lotus, one of their best maps. DRX, get that gone. Get it gone.
Okay.
Take a look. Take a look at the picks and the bans recently, okay? On the right-hand
They're
side.
caving.
On the right... Shut up. On the right-hand side, these are the maps that DRX have been banning. Lotus, 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 Lotus. These are the maps that Foot have been picking. Lotus, 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 Haven. Now, I will say, though, DRX have been doing a bit of trolling.
Oh, really?
They've been doing a little bit of trolling.
really?
Is this a telly you presented for us?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so look at how Stacks, he wastes his dog over there. He wastes his dog. Look, the wall's up, the nade's up, and they still send Foxy9 in to die. Oh no, they've used the Reckoning on the site. They haven't paused. They're just going in. They're just going in. The Viper Wall is still up. This is the same Viper Wall, and it's still up because they haven't taken a pause. They just send Foxy9 in to die. Oh God, what have I done predicting this team?
Wait.
Oh God.
Wait, hold on. This makes no sense. So you're going back on your prediction?
Well, there's a speckle of doubt, I must say.
A speckle of
I have a
doubt.
confession to make.
What?
I also am doubting.
Do you guys just not hold on to any of your convictions?
I'm going to be real with you, though. I don't think either of these teams has been looking particularly great.
How?
Well,
Explain.
okay, so there's been a lot of reliance on hero plays, for one. Like, a lot of people will look at this, and they're like, this is what Valorant's all about, you know, big 4K moments. But what I saw from Foot was a lot of nuance in their play in the playoffs. The Krax's supportive utility was amazing for them, I think, on the KO over and over again. They took really nice timings. What you were critiquing DRX for, Josh, was just bulldozing in and, you know, not taking those pauses in between to try and bait out utility and then trying to hit with an advantage.
Yeah.
Foot were doing that really quite well, I think, in the overall playoffs of EMEA, and they haven't been doing it so far in their matchup against ASC. They were really dragged down to just straight up gun duels, and it was the heroics that carried them through a lot of these big moments, and I think that plays out for both of these teams. DRX were saved by Mako and Buzz in multiple rounds so far in the matches that they played, and the same can be said for Foot as well, when you're seeing players like Ada Captain as well, Mr. Fallen, having to really pick up the pieces.
What you haven't realized, though, is that I have a telestrator today, so whatever you say doesn't really matter, because...
You have another telestrator?
Why does he have a
I've got
telestrator?
another telestrator, because you
What?
are
What is this?
trolling.
What is this?
Trolling. This man, troll. This little fella over here.
Oh yeah, that looks just
How do
like
we-
him.
This
do
is
we-
your
Show the mustache,
face.
show the mustache.
Yeah, this is your face when Foot lose.
I'm trying to line it up. Hello.
Oh my.
My face when Foot lose to DRX.
Foot are going to win against DRX today. Says the man who's literally just said he's got no confidence in either of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be very funny. Frankly,
I didn't even know we had the capability to do that.
I didn't know we had the capability to do that.
oh, I knew we had the capability to do that.
What? Zach, what else are you telling me, man? Come on, bro. oh, wait a minute. Actually, guys, breaking news.
No.
Breaking news.
No,
Because
no.
unfortunately, we have to throw all of your nonsensical arguments out of the window, because I just got word from the camp of DRX
No.
that Zest is playing
Oh my
today instead
God.
of Foxy 9.
what have they
How
done?
does this make you feel physically as
Bro.
well as emotionally?
They are trolling. Termi, he's got money in some very unorthodox places, I'm sure, if he's making decisions like this. Man, they cannot stick to a consistent roster.
Every time.
Wait a minute. I'm going to play devil's advocate. It's Zest.
Right. Yeah,
on.
yeah, it's Zest. Yes, it's a team that's gone deep
Zest,
in tournaments
bro.
before.
It's
also-
Zest.
It's Zest with no practice. It's Zest where they have to run all of their old strats because they haven't been practicing
Bro, it's
with him.
killing me. Stax looks the most stressed I've ever seen him at the beginning of an event, because he is having to offset this disadvantage. They are not getting good practice. They're chopping and changing the roster. They have to go back to all their old defaults, all their old server time, prep time. It's brutal for
I
them.
will say, though, at least they won't be launching Foxy 9 in like he's on a trebuchet to try an entry for them. Like,
Off you go, son.
their coordination. They send him in like a sacrificial
Yeah, they
lamb.
really do.
Like, it's unbelievable.
Well, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead though, and let's not get too negative for a moment here, all right? And let's actually check in, because we did manage to get some words with DRX when they arrived. Let's check this out.
Buzz. Come here for a sec, please. Now, today is do or die. Your thoughts on your opponent's Foot.
일단은 뭐 잘하는 상대라고 생각하지만 일단 이름이 푸신 만큼 저희가 이제 발로 짓밟아주고 올라가도록 하겠습니다.
Well, they're a strong team, but you know, Foot kind of sounds like FOOT. So yeah, we'll give them a stomping. Well, thank you very much, Buzz. Good luck.
Jen saying it.
I love that. I love that. Their name's Foot. We're going to give him a stomping.
Oh.
That's really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's confident. He's going to be out there playing entry, playing duelist today.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
unless they're on Fracture, where RB plays duelist.
Yeah, the roles still do switch. But I will say, like, this iteration of Zest, they just look better with. But it's been bizarre. This whole thought experiment where they're chopping and changing the roster all the time as well. But
It's official.
They
There
put
he
him in.
is.
So-
Literally every tournament this year, they have wanted to begin it with Foxy 9, and they've
they
ended up
end it with
swapping
Zest.
with Zest.
But,
It started
okay.
before they even began in Lock-In. They ran the whole of Lock-In with Zest. They lost in the upper finals to Paper Rex, panicked, and put Zest back in. And they're about to be eliminated, panicked, and put Zest back in again.
But the thing is, they played the back-to-back best of fives in the lower bracket finals and the finals to even get here as well. and I think it exposed massive gaps in terms of their overall map pool when they're running Zest as well. It was so evident to me, the difference in terms of their Ascent and Fracture gameplay to every other map that they had in the pool, the deeper they got into those best of fives.
But the thing is, I still think they look better with Zest in. My issue is that they just haven't been practicing with him.
Yeah,
They need to stick to a consistent roster. And like we said, Stax' IGLing is really suffering as a result of this.
Yeah, it's very evident that whatever's happening in the DRX camp right now, there's just a lot of uncertainty.
Yep.
And right now, in a competition like this, uncertainty is something you certainly do not want to have, especially.
Hesitation is defeat.
Yeah, that's true.
Mike, put that on a scroll.
Who said that?
I think that's from Sekiro.
Okay.
Moving on to their opponents, we actually have Yinzu standing by with Fut's Mr. Fallen for a quick word. Let's check it out.
Mr. Fallen Kanka, come join me real quickly. Congratulations on the win. You are one game away from making out of groups, but your opponent today has a very experienced IGL. How do you deal with Stax' mid-round calls today?
Well, we know they have a good place and they're a good team, but I think we're going to show them right now what Turkish players and Turkish team is going to capable of right now here. I don't know, they will scare us. I'm not scared of them, so let's get it.
Great answer, Mr. Fallen. Good luck today.
I'm not scared of them.
Yeah.
Let's get it. My guys are ready.
If there was ever a time to take down DRX, this is it, right? Because we're talking about DRX in such critical tones because they're a team that normally is capable of actually winning titles. They've not done it before, but they've gotten really close in the past.
Yeah.
And yet this is them in their most vulnerable state, where, as you're talking about, there's chaos in the camp. That's primed for Foot. All of the pressure's off. They've got their best chance ever at being able to take down a big scalp like this.
And also another fascinating thing to keep in mind as well is that yesterday, we were hearing from the Foot side of things that they were trying to play to ASE. They were trying to play to their opponent, and they realized it wasn't working, so they go back to what works for them. It's kind of like DRX to an extent, obviously, but they made the adjustments mid-game, and it's a little different of actually very different of a situation, so I'm trolling. But the point I'm trying to say is that it does feel as if Foot have, at the very least, a stronger base to work with.
I think they have a very good chance, honestly, as well. If they look even 70% of their form that they were going in through the EMEA playoffs at as well, they still have the issues, I think, with their map pool, but that goes for DRX as well. Yeah. They're kind of in the same camp with this as well.
Yeah.
And I think that Foot have shown that they can play at a really high potential, whereas DRX have kind of just looked shaky all throughout their playoff run as well to even get here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this plays out. Obviously, there's still plenty of game left to play here. We haven't even started yet. It's going to be exciting, and I can't wait. But all throughout the event, as you guys know, make sure you use those hashtags as, to get social with it, all right? Participate on the internet. I don't know why you would want to do that, but go on and have a good time with it. Use the hashtag VCT as well as Valorant Masters. Of course, we want to hear from you. And while you're over there, by the way, why don't you go ahead and cast your vote in today's poll? We want to know, who's right? Is it Bren's prediction for Foot? Is it Sideshow's case for DRX? Or do you think both of them are out of their flipping minds? Scan the QR code to scan.
We can't both be wrong.
I mean, no.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we can't both be wrong.
Absolutely true. I mean, we can both be wrong, like, in our reasoning. We can both be wrong in our reasoning.
Where did you write this?
How did that get there?
You have too much power.
Yeah. How did that get there? That's crazy.
This cannot be a thing throughout the day. This is my desk, and I will not allow this man to just... unbelievable. In any case, guys, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and I think you're going to see what's on the other side of this break. Trust me, it's pretty awesome. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to Valorant Masters Tokyo. With the high stakes of this event, social media, of course, is getting quite heated, and some would say rather unhinged.
Yeah.
And that means it's time to play a game of Fan or Fraud.
Particularly favorite segment for me. Yep. Battle Fraud. Masters Tokyo edition. So the way how this works is I'm going to offer you 2 quotes as well. One of them is a real fan takeaway.
Okay.
The other one has been invented. It's fabricated.
Okay.
It's
Fraudulent.
It's fraudulent.
It's all over the
like
place.
my life.
It's been made up. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fake. It's a fraudulent quote, okay?
Got it.
And you two have to decide between them, and the audience can play at home as well
Right.
if you are watching as well.
So
You
which
guys
one's
can
a real
play
fan,
along.
which one's a
Which one's a
fraud?
real, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so let's pull up the first one. I mean, the first question, here we go. I am screaming in my house. Let's go, boys! At T1, hashtag Valorant Masters, or is it going to be B? I want to see T1 make it out of groups. Go, Sire player! Yippee!
Nobody,
Valorant Masters.
no one types
It has to
yippee.
be B.
No one types yippee on the internet.
I'm telling you, man, it's so unhinged, it has to be B.
There's no, okay.
You think which one do you think is the fake one?
I think the fake one is B.
I think the
Oh,
fake one is
you know.
A. But
All right, well, no,
We see
I'll
a
let
split.
I'll let Alex do it. I think that's
Okay,
insanity. But
give
I'll
me
let
this
you.
one. Give me this one. The fake one is A.
Okay, the fake one is not A. It is actually B that was the fake one. A was written by Achilles.
Achilles.
Yes, from my memory, I believe A was written by Achilles. This is going
Wow.
off of my memory
Feel
as
bad for
well.
his wife.
Maybe we-
Okay.
Let's wipe that off the screen. I want to pull up the second question whenever production
Fine. All right,
ready
Josh.
as well. Let's get
I'll
into
follow
this.
your lead. I'll follow
Okay.
your lead, Josh. What's
Yeah.
the next one?
Keep it going. Next one is what in the? Even when it looked like Na'Vi had the momentum for Edward and his gaming, it didn't matter. When you have that clutch gene and a ferocious team, that's a rhyme. It can help you snag an upset against all the odds. Edward wins. Na'Vi is gone. And then
That's like a poem.
it was a poem, wasn't it?
Okay.
Quite creative, whoever that was. B, when nobody is chasing you, life takes a fall. These
That's
are
also
also
poetic.
poetic. These are so poetic.
I can't imagine any of the fans tweeting either of these.
Yeah.
These are kind of inspired. I actually don't know. G.
Which one is fake? Which one is fraud?
Oh my God. I think B is fake. I think B is fake.
All right.
What about you, Josh?
I mean, I literally don't have any idea. Yeah, let's
I
go
could
for
totally see some
A.
unhinged fans saying A.
Let's go for A being the real fan.
Okay, well, I can safely say that you guys are correct. I remember this one as well. This B quote was actually fabricated by Jen, our Korean interviewer, as well. I was in the green room when she came up with it, and yeah, A is the real one. So there you go. That's the
Wait,
answer to that one.
so Jen made A or B?
no, Jen
then-
made B.
Well, then they're both fine. They're
Well, no,
both real.
but it was no, it was fabricated.
Well, she can be a fan. We can all be
sure.
fans.
I mean, we can all be fans, but no, you're not twisting this segment away from me. Okay, let's wipe this, and we have one more to do as well. I want to speed through this as well.
Oh,
It's been taking
God.
a sweet
Yes,
time. I don't know how
yes,
much time we
look,
actually have, but
we have
let's
1
throw it
minute.
up. A, why are all my teams losing? I don't know why I went with that accent. And B, this is translated from Japanese. What a show by Kiwi. ASE are strong as expected, but Foot came to play.
That's bait.
Congratulations to your
That's
first
bait.
win.
I know. I
B is
think that's
bait.
real. I think the Japanese fans do tweet politely.
Oh, no, they 100% do. They're awesome. But I think that's bait to just get us to go for
Why do you
A
think that's
because you just went through all
right.
the effort to put translated in Japanese.
I'm trying to go quick here. Who do you think?
Who do you think? Go.
You pick.
I think A is
A
real.
is real. I can safely say that A is the real fan quote. A real fan wrote, "Why are all my teams losing?" I don't know if they particularly sound like that, but
I
you
mean,
got it
I think
correct.
so.
Congratulations. Round of
probably
applause.
Oh, yay. We did it. How
I
much
know-
was that? Did we win? What did we win?
We didn't win anything, and neither did the people at home who played along. So unfortunately, they don't get anything. I mean, it's entertainment. It's
All right.
fun.
Can we have some real entertainment, Alex?
Good news. I actually have something lined up just for you. Before we get into our first match today, here's a little something that we want you guys to check out.
Hey, you. Need a hand? Fine. Oh, there's your problem. You did that on purpose. We'll have this contraption up and exploding in no time. If not, we could always use another piece, but That can't be our solution for every malfunctioning stage. Besides, Max seems perfectly suited to his role.
Okay, well, I don't know what the heck that was, but I'm in for the ride.
That was my first time seeing that, and I'm trying to like analyze it. There's so much going through my brain right now.
Frame by frame, play it back, let the lore experts go.
Dude, I tried to like pull my best like freaking screen crush Ryan Airy impression breakthrough. Here's 100 reasons why you need to watch this video and break everything down frame by frame. Can't.
My face was inside the desk, actually like looking at the monitor, trying to figure out what the heck was going on there.
Can confirm his face was just right in there.
Yeah, the lore heads are gonna go crazy for that one.
I mean, that looks like we're gonna get something later on.
I guess we'll find out later on. But in any case, though, folks, it's not like we know anything. We're running out of time. So, of course, let's do some predictions, shall we? Because I genuinely don't know what you guys...
Just verbally?
Yeah, go for it.
Verbally say my prediction. I am going to go with Foot still. I'm sticking with it. He vetoed me. I don't think TRX is going to win this, unfortunately. I think Foot are going to be free as birds.
Oh, free as a bird. Okay.
It hurts me so much. If they were playing with Foxy, I don't think they take the game. My question now is, are Foot good enough to be able to stop these all-in executes that
you know
TRX
what?
are going to go for?
I didn't get to use this. I'm playing my veto card.
For whom?
DRX is going to win 2-0 today.
2-0?
That's right. I'm committed. You want to know why? Because I have a 100% prediction rate. Well, I won.
Well, so do we.
No, for Americas. I'm really good at my job. In any case, so...
Okay.
I'm just saying, I really do think that DRX...
You have a 100% prediction rate.
Not 100% prediction rating, but I did win the America's prediction poll.
I think DRX should be considered the favorites, but I do think that there's a serious chance that Foot win here, especially with the fact that they are literally playing with house money right now, like you said.
Yeah.
The difference in pressure could not be more different between these two teams.
Something tells me Zest is going to walk up on that stage, and it's going to feel like riding a bike for the team. They're going to hit a groove.
Yeah, Zest is a consistent player for them.
Some might even say a consistent demon.
They might hit a pothole, not a groove. I mean, he's biking along, riding a bike, falling into an abyss.
I mean, potentially. So you guys genuinely just have no faith in DRX.
It's not that we don't have any faith, it's that we don't know what to expect.
Yeah, don't know what to expect. They're chopping and changing the roster all the time. They haven't had good practice with a consistent roster.
But you don't think that the raw aim skill, at the very least, is enough to get them
raw aim skill? You ever seen Turkish players?
Yeah, you're going up against a Turkish team, and you're relying on raw aim and skill.
Seth isn't here. Someone has to have the hopium for DRX, okay?
It's I don't know, man. I'm going with Foot still.
I respect it.
All right, guys. Well, listen, the coaches are ready to go for the map pick, so let's go ahead and get this show on the road because it's the final day of group stages, and we only have 2 teams that are going to be moving forward to knockouts. Of course, we have DRX versus Foot, EDG versus T1. Day 4 of Valorant Masters Tokyo starts right now.
그냥 샷으로 진 것 같아요.
This was destructive, absolutely. They're targeting the weaknesses of DRX's play style.
Bireysel inisiyatiflere bana göre, ya benim düşüncem biraz az. Tamamıyla taktiğe uyuyorlar. Taktik dışına çıkmıyorlar. Rakipten bir çekincem yok.
제발 EDG처럼 좀 해외물 먹어가지고 이제 머리가 좀 심어졌으면 좋겠습니다. 참만 말고 막 만하게 볼 상대는 아닌 것 같고 최선을 다하겠습니다.
지는 건 없어. 배우는 것뿐이야. 우리는 이제 배우고 이기는 일만 남았다. 오케이? Let's get it.
Çok çalıştık, aşırı fazla çalıştık. Job not finish.
我跟我哥的关系当然是特别特别好了。 然后他能帮助我是，他从小给我灌输的东西就是自信。但是呢，在每一次比赛输的时候，他是第一个站出来指责我的，是因为他很想看到我站在舞台上胜利的那一天吧。
After we got beaten in lock-in, we just like grew so much individually and then as a team. That's how we came here so far.
They collapse, they strike them down, and China get their win.
我想我哥看到这场比赛的时候，拿到胜利的时候，他一定是在哭。
We can qualify for the playoffs. That means a lot to me.
就是我觉得我的付出有成效。
Facing T1, all I want to say for you guys is good luck.
泽明佳，我要带到你的名字。
All right, last day of groups. So for this match, DRX, you will be the higher seed since you come from the upper bracket of the groups. So would you like Team A or Team B? Team B. So FUT, you will be Team A, and we will start with your first band. Split. Split, your band. Lotus, and map number 1?
Bind.
Sight on Bind. Attack. Map number 2? Fracture. Sight on Fracture.
Attack.
Attack. So we're going to go into the next set of bands, starting with FUT. You have Ascent, Haven, and Pearl.
Pearl.
Pearl, okay. Your band? Band Ascent. So map number 3 will be Haven. Sight on Haven.
Attack.
I'll run through this really quick, make sure we're good to go. First set of bands, we have FUT with Split, DRX with Lotus. Map number 1 is Bind with DRX on Attack. Map number 2 is Fracture with FUT on Attack. Next set of bands are Pearl and Ascent. Map number 3 is Haven with FUT on Attack. Yep. Sounds good? Yes. All right, good luck to you both today.
Oops.
Footy Sports. DRX.
Comfortable situation for DRX to be in, and for Foot, well, at this point, I think the grass is just going to continue to get greener on their side of the field as they have already punched their ticket to champions, and they know without a doubt, Bren, that at this point they are just playing with what they got, as we like to say and what we said before, playing with that house money. It's DRX, it's Foot, this is going to be good.
There's nothing more dangerous than a Turkish team with confidence, I'll tell you that. I mean, these guys, they can aim with the best of them, and if it's DRX as well, if they're not going to reach that next evolution in their play that we know that they're capable of, they're not going to be showing some patience, some nuance with the mid-rounding as well, and they just try and take it to how they've been playing with those big heroic moments. I think that they're going to be rudely awoken and potentially out of this tournament as well. This is an elimination match between these teams.
A very uncomfortable situation for DRX to be in, and the only other time that they've lost in groups, they didn't make it through the groups, right? So those 2 losses prior for DRX, when they failed to make it through in Champs, I believe that was in 2021.
Yeah.
I think it's very telling as well in that interview piece that you saw that Kiwi said he's not really afraid of DRX. They're very rigid, they stick to their tactics, they never deviate from them. He's not afraid of what they do individually because he always knows that they're going to stick to their regimen.
But can't the same thing literally be said for Foot? That was what we were harping on him about yesterday on the desk, where it just felt like there was no nuance to some of the plays that they were executing.
I think they have shown that though in the past. In a lot of their prior games, a lot of their prior performances, they've shown that they can take these awkward timings to their refight, particularly around Krax's KO, whenever they play around that as well. His flash timings are usually quite immaculate. and they do play off of it really nicely to try and take those awkward timings when teams are trying to set up. They're really good at fighting between those windows.
Let's talk a little bit about the map pool as well, because we saw that map veto come through. Foot recently beat Fnatic on Bind in EMEA. That should give you a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to beat a bit of a wounded DRX on that first map.
Go committing to the 2-0.
Yeah, and Fracture is the map where you see so much of DRX just being all in with their same execs all the time.
Okay, so Prime Gaming Agent select here, and we got a lot of changes for DRX.
Yeah, I mean, but also what I was talking about prior with the KO being played by Krax as well. One of the things that was booming Fnatic on Bind was the amount of fights that they were taking towards the back of A site. They would use the first wave of utility, get into the front section of A, and fight into the back when Fnatic were trying to set up. If DRX still are playing rigid and still with that, like really intense discipline in terms of how they're playing, they're going to get caught out over and over again. And another thing that I was critical of DRX when I was watching them play Bind in the past is that they really don't put a lot of priority on showers control. That area of the map is really just almost a no-go for them, and they get boomed by it repeatedly when I was watching them play in the playoffs over in the Pacific region as well. I need to see some correction in terms of that and in terms of their ideas playing on Bind.
And of course it is a lot of changes for DRX, but this is because they have changed their roster.
Yes,
this is the comp that they normally run when they have Zest in.
Yeah, well, folks, this is it. Do or die for both teams, and we're all set to jump into the action and send it over to your casters. And here's the thing, I can't say too many nice things about these two guys because, unfortunately, Brennan Sideshow are right next to me. But in any case, here is Doug and Bala.
We're favored. It's all right. You don't need to let them know about it. Bala, the stakes cannot be any greater. And for these two teams, given what they've accomplished in this tournament, namely on the side of Foot, it kind of feels like there's a weight off their shoulders. But on this stage, with elimination on the line, it feels like bad timing.
Yeah, I wonder, though, if they even feel like they've accomplished much so far. I think that's the kind of dichotomy that you have between qualifying for champs, getting that weight off of your shoulders, and not having to have done anything outside of just winning that match. Yeah. Really, they look at that game, Na'Vi versus EDG, that qualified them, and they're wondering, man, that could have gone a different way. We could still have that pressure on our shoulders. So. And I think on the other side, DRX, man, how are they here?
Yeah.
Josh put up the record for them in group stages last year. They went out 2-0 every time they had to play that scenario, which is crazy that they're now facing elimination here against Foot. Such a storied team. Remember, this team just came off of a 3rd, 4th at Lock-In. This exact roster. And it's just all in flux when we expected some stability for them heading into this year. One of the only teams to really compose and keep their entire roster for this new partnership era.
Right back into the swing of things. DRX starting off on the attacking side. We highlighted the fact that they're running a KO here, not something you see exceptionally often.
We saw last night with Angel playing that. Already some info, but they're trying to get up past this wall, and they'll let him through. Foot in trouble by losing laps, but they still need to fight behind.
Spike down A.
See that Spike sitting there with flash as they try to hold back side. Such a pesky, difficult place to hold. But they're doing it. They've been able to trade 1-for-1 here. Buzz is so weak and RB healthy, having to take a step back. Concerned, paranoid perhaps of the flank. The pressure applied from the extremities. Buzz holding. U-Haul somehow getting away with nothing but a sliver of HP. Being traced and followed. Prowler not quite finding its mark. 2v2. Kiwiwi. RB, he was the healthy one. He's fallen. It's all on to Buzz. And he's gotten it down to 1. The nade right click. The swing out to buy time. He tries to reload. And the timing could not be worse. Foot get the pistol.
Mr. Fallen stays composed, and honestly, DRX take it to them up short so fast. When you're looking at Foot play in the last game, you're seeing how when they have to forced to make decisions, when they're forced to make the decisions, it really is starting to crumble, where they don't really feel completely satisfied. They don't feel confident in those decisions themselves. Here, it doesn't really feel like DRX gave them the time to fall into those same traps. So not a big fan of that pistol, but still some success points. They got lamps. That may be something that they can work with later on. And also Buzz too.
I was about to say that. Yep.
3 kills for him. I think he's the guy who thinks he has the most pressure out of everybody on this team right now.
Dispatched.
Fawn with the opener. Buzz passing by. You were just talking about the pressure. Ooh. Seize is going to be nice, but there's just no follow-up with it.
Yeah, not comboed with anything.
there.
So off of the orb and off of the C's that they've seen. They hold the line for just a moment. Down long, now funneling out of Octagon. That's gonna hurt, that nade backside. He's able to get out because of the stimmy, but Mr. Fallen just swings into his death.
Those are two fights that look like they might be dry, but instead there's Util that's forcing them to take the fights.
They flip things. Maj has shown up. Molly at his feet. Momentary delay.
Ooh, the orb too. Not momentary anymore.
Off the nade, Mako's still staying alive. Battered.
23.
Spammed and now bruised. As soon as orb goes down, vision will be given. Mako on the hold, trying to keep him back, and he cannot. RB still playing with the Sheriff. The reposition is you see them both jump out of Hookah. Side step, that Molly's gonna help.
That Molly missed, I think.
Did it?
No, it just barely didn't.
And it's just enough to buy time. Well done.
They let them fall into the classic. DRX ideas. It's constantly in these group stages, just relying on the post plant, relying on the time. Mako held on for so long with this full fueled up orb.
Yeah.
And then RB as well hitting the shots that would have actually provided a pinch on the site from Foot.
All it took was one, but he hit it.
I'm surprised they got those openings too on the site.
Yeah.
And that hurts, the Red Bull clutch. That hurts.
DRX with 5 rifles in the 3rd round. After losing the pistol, they've been able to equalize.
They always rely, after losing a round like that, on this re-exploration. They did keep the 2 Bulldogs alive. Don't forget that, so this round's still a little bit dangerous. The DRX, full rifles on board.
And for Foot, you saw the intentions at the beginning of the round. Establish Showers control, get the orb, and then reset.
Both players spotted, so.
Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to reset, but DRX is gonna be able to use this timing to take the fight, but he still wins it.
What? And he gets away?
And speaking of the reset happening in Showers, DRX completely gave up that space, so Adacaptain fully safe on the other side of the map.
It's just criminal that he's able to do that with the Classic and then survive. The Bulldog now finding it. You mentioned it just a few moments ago. It was preserved from the previous round. And it's finding its mark. Stax trying to snatch him back into this thing. They still have 2 rifles to play with.
RB went hunting with the spike alone. He was the only person who got past that wall. And then the second player who picked it up ended up dying farther back, but the spike went farther in.
Stax trying to have to reach his way out of the cover to grab the spike, but instead it's the flash out looking to take the fight, and it's Krax who wins it out.
Jeez. And I was thinking to myself, all of DRX died on that round that they won. They didn't manage to pick up any weapons. So that's a full reset on this eco. Back to back now. That's a huge mistake by RB. Look, Zest picks it up. The spike falls further into the site.
Which is crazy too, considering he was jumping backwards. He was trying to get to safety.
You gotta turn your body after that. So the spike does get thrown back either way. Foot now, I mean, much, much better shape to actually take the anti-eco. Full rifles picked up too, and their bank is huge. So even if they get eco'd here, we're finally gonna have a first gun round after. There are some key ults here close. I mean, there's one. I wasn't even talking about that one.
You were just saying. That's unreal. This is a very good sign for what we're in for. If it's going to continue to be things like that, where rifles do not matter.
What is going on? And you're looking here, RB's going to have his no command. Buzz is going to have, actually he's completely out of the fight. He's close to a showstopper though. I need to see him start to hunt. But they're not sure this round's completely locked up just yet, so getting in good post-plant positions. DRX is very, very good in these spots. Zest has his molly. There's a KO molly as well. Viper molly too. There's no way they're giving this up.
You certainly wouldn't think so, but I also wouldn't think we'd be in this position in the first place. Adacaptain playing on the other side of the wall. He's able to take down one. You see the molly soar across the sky as Captain takes a second. I mean, the Sheriffs might be the MVP of this if this continues. The Molly buys time, and that's a third Thrifty in a row.
What is going on in this game? I mean, clearly, Stack's having a giggle. That's terrifying.
That is a little scary.
DRX logo on the dude's face.
Dude, both of them.
Yeah, this is crazy. But clear mistakes, I think, being made.
Wow.
By both sides in the last round, RB going forward. There, not being able to punish Stacks with just a Sheriff. I mean, yeah, he pulled some ridiculous stuff out there, but the re-clear with no util. Trying to take the aim duels.
Op in the hands of Kiwi on the defense. You mentioned that regardless of how the previous round ended, we would have a gun round, and that's what we have.
And it's a heavy investment, too.
Yeah, it is.
For some reason, Maj with just a Guardian. Despite having 1.1K, despite Cracks being able to drop Bulldogs, that sort of thing. We do have Showstoppers, both available on both sides. Kiwi with the op, that's a great secondary tool, especially up in a cubby like that.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting, too. The Viper wall that they're playing, the one that's not going through showers, when you don't put it through showers, it's because generally the defense wants to hold that line with an op more often than not. But the fact that there was a Trailblazer that just went through there to clear it out kind of spits in the face of all of that, although it seems like now Kiwi wanting to re-hold that line and reestablish it, you just don't really have any knowledge of what's on the other side.
Yeah, you can't go deeper, really.
Yeah.
Talking about the re-clears that Foot left to do. It's not truly possible. They're going to Showstopper out here with the Seekers as well. Buzz ready to go.
Flash, Showstopper, 2 done. Buzz looking for the third, but the op finds its mark. It's just momentary, though.
And nobody there to help out to break the Seekers for Kiwi. So even though he gets that shot off, he gets nearsighted by the Seeker hitting him. And we will finally have 2 in a row here for DRX. His Foot immediately fall back to save. That's the sort of execute you can't let DRX get.
Right.
And you heard in the teaser there at the beginning, before the teams walked out. You see the round in between. Great Showstopper exit, great movement from Buzz too. DRX not chasing at all, by the way. You heard the Foot players talk about how they're very rigid, DRX, in their game plans. I wouldn't agree with that totally up to this point, but that's definitely been the reputation, and it's carried forward.
Yeah.
But that's why right there, those sorts of things. So if you're aware of it, Foot, they've tried to interrupt it with those dry walks, those sort of things. There they had the deep op set up on short, down carpets. The ideas were there, but they gave up the space. They weren't patient enough. I think you stick to that setup the entire time, and you're having great success in that round.
Careful. A little shower presence for Foot. It looks like they have 3 set up that way.
And remember, they actually did force up around those 2 rifles that they saved.
Kiwi with Marshall, and that is one of the weapons. Flash gonna get some info. No way to confirm how much is on the other side, though. And Foot gladly just trample forward and take the space.
Again, this is dry completely. They want to take these aim fights. The desk, Bren and Josh were arguing about whether or not that's a good thing for DRX to be relying on, but it's Foot relying on it right now. And so far, it's not really worked out.
Spike currently still sitting towards spawn. His Foot having Cracks rotate B.
DRX are doing a great job denying the information right now.
Yeah.
Forcing that Viper wall to go up, which means you're giving up re-clearing any of that space. That honk gets broken on the other side. Yeah, sure, they know they're defaulting, but they really don't know how to regroup right now. The boombot from Kiwi would be huge right now down short, but again, he's still with that Marshall. So can't spare the time. Off of the sniper.
Figured out where the Marshall is. While they want to funnel their way in through short, Buzz has already taken the line. Kiwi on the other side, and the no-scope lands, now upgraded to a weapon. Satcheling across, looking for the second. The crosshair was moved just a bit too early.
Had to make a solo play. Stax was coming from behind.
Orbital strike dropped, Zest falling too. Cracks rotating over. Back towards A, where the spike ticks away. Mako not able to land the shots. Tata Captain wins that out. Stacks on the flash and on the swing. You wonder what it is that the play is because RB's playing so safe, so far off. Having Stacks takes the fight by himself, and Attacaptain wins both.
That shot from Kiwi. I mean, just disgusting onto Buzz. And then the rest of the Foot players on the retake coming in very, very strong. No scope, too. Come on. There'll be a timeout from DRX actually out of that. I think Strat's so far working actually pretty well. I thought they denied the information very well in that game, or in that map. That specific round. But not able to actually bring the pressure all the way through. The pinch was almost set up. If Stacks was slightly faster, Kiwi's getting traded.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he ends up doing that anyways, but also that orbital strike, not really considered. They didn't tap the spike or anything like that. They really thought that they had to all in to get that plant down, and that cost them the molly. That cost them the post plant that they rely on so much. And I do wonder now if we're gonna start to see DRX's depth get challenged a little bit here. Josh was talking about it on the desk, how they haven't had time to practice with this roster, with Zest in the lineup, at least as much. Obviously, you played the last 2 games of the Pacific playoffs.
And there is history, but it has primarily been Fox 9, yeah.
But in the Pacific playoffs, you saw the same old stuff.
Yeah, sure.
That's being run. You can definitely tell there's a stylistic difference between having Foxy 9 in the lineup versus Zest. Specifically on this map too. Buzz and RB have traditionally actually swapped which of these guys plays the Raze on this map, especially back in the chamber meta. That was obviously a much more difficult choice back then.
Attacaptain pushed off, and it seems like for the first time this map, there may be some pressure stand. There it is, Zest getting tagged up. He's done, he's dropped.
Great dry swing again. Foot continuing to rely on it, and this time it nets them the kill onto Zest. If they wanted to hit this B site, he's a crucial factor in doing so. If they don't hit before this knife timing from Cracks down short,
right here,
these Foot players on this side could be very ready for this. They've got a seize too. Molly's still up. That knife just cleared.
Do they rotate off of it? What are the movements from Foot, given the information they just gathered? Attacaptain flashed, naded, trying to tuck. And it's actually off of a molly. Attacaptain gets one back.
They tried to go through with the Viper Wall up. That thing does so much damage so fast with the decay too. If you are moving while it pops, you're dead.
No real option to flip. No real option to go forward. Foot hold them back.
This is the best start to a map and a series that Foot have had. We've talked a lot about slow starts for Foot. Against ASE in that first map, it was really bad. Against EG, it was also very, very bad in the first map on Split. It looked like they didn't show up to the server. Today, it's different. And I think it all comes to that pressure being lifted off of them.
Very well, maybe, right? Kiwi seems to be playing loose. He's performing well. Attacaptain is too, which has been more of a constant, oddly enough, but
I think it just seems like such an insurmountable task to be able to outplace the 3 other EMEA teams in this tournament. Jeez.
Wow. Little things, man, the timing.
He's up to 11.
Kiwi finding the window to take the wide swing and hold that angle during the peak from Zest is just beautiful.
Okay, this is important here for Mako.
Oh. Bigger fromage.
I like that he goes for that lurk. That's something that you can definitely use to interrupt. You saw it work on the pistol with more players behind it. This time he's rushing though.
Last player standing.
What?
Things are
What is
falling
going
apart
on?
very quickly.
Cracks just one tap 2 players. Kiwi one taps Buzz immediately in the beginning of the round too.
That must have been Prius. Missing the last 2. But again, just surprising, right? Like for DRX, yeah, there was a cheeky play to try to lurk into the smoke and disrupt as you were saying, but it just feels like the last, 3 rounds, there just hasn't been enough of that flash that we saw at the beginning from DRX.
And you're not seeing as well the players on DRX have the same sort of energy in making individual plays. 12 seconds to hunt RB right now.
10 seconds left.
They're so close.
Can you preserve the gun? No. A Prime Gaming Flawless comes through his foot. Get up 2 rounds.
Tough situation for RB.
Oh yeah, miserable one.
Looked like he activated the exclamation point among all the guards hunting for him. No gun will force a couple players to be very low on this economy. Stax looks stressed, man. We've talked about it a lot. Stax, in terms of his individual performance throughout this season, has been okay. It hasn't been like, you know, mouse kiss Stax action, none of that really. But I think it's very excusable given the situation in front of him. Ult down short.
Oh, there's interesting here. There's not a ton of layer to this. It's just him by himself. There was a Prowler that went the other way, but there wasn't a combo. There wasn't pinch from Sand.
Oftentimes when you go that deep, you get stuck.
Yeah.
Stax not confident enough to push up, but he only has the Sheriff.
It worked last time, but not this time. Doesn't even get a chance to shoot it.
Yeah, that's a lack of information for Stax. He thinks there's more behind it, like you said.
Spike down A.
Kiwi able to hold that line and get both. DRX once again thrown into disarray.
I look at the choices being made by DRX, not only in the server, but with bringing in Zest. The kind of mind games they're playing about who's going to play in the starting lineup beforehand. And I'm thinking back to Masters Berlin where they had Lakia on the roster.
Oh, that's a deep cut. Another Prime Gaming Flawless through for Foot.
It didn't seem like back then anybody was super happy with those decisions being made.
Yeah.
That was their last attempt at a 6-man roster, and it fell flat on its face. They gave up on it after that.
As is often the case.
Lakia didn't even play it the following champ. But may I remind you, Josh brought it up on the desk, that was the only time DRX has not made it out of groups, was Champions 2021, way back in the day. Completely different situation now. They've broken down so many of the things you think about when you think about this team falling short at global events. But man, I can't help but think.
Yep.
History's repeating itself right now. I can't help but think they're falling back into the same patterns that continuously put them short of a podium finish.
While Foot call a timeout, having won the last 4 rounds in a row, up 3 rounds in this first half. And a question what this one would be for. Either way, it's going to give DRX a chance to talk through things with their team. Termy to touch base with the squad, make any adjustments they may see.
It's been very rare that Foot's been in this position to be able to offer encouragement during one of these timeouts.
They're often down having to call a timeout and go, guys, we got to fix this, this, and this.
And it's funny because the opposite side too, DRX, during playoffs, Termy was giving a lot of reign to his team to play without him. He was going long stretches of time where they were losing maps and he was just not calling timeouts at all. We've already seen one, of course.
Blinded.
Foot are so intent on controlling early showers. And they've done it in a similar degree through short.
Mako again trying for this. It's the same angle too, and he's not even looking where he died the last time.
Exact same play.
Finally gonna find a kill though.
As he just thought he was unlucky the first time. Surely they don't do that again. He was right.
He was 0-8 before that.
Yeah.
Mako 0-8, are you kidding me?
Where do they reset off of this? He may be in trouble.
Dead? He's dead.
He's got to understand that there was some showers presence, he just didn't know how much. Meanwhile, the hit's out towards B. Attacaptain still holding elbow. Showstopper in his face, and it's traded.
It's a lucky trade for Attacaptain, but Buzz, I don't know if he should be dying there. Either way, they've corralled them on the site. I thought this was going to be a good round for DRX because they could fall off and play the post plant. Win condition for them, but now they can't.
They still have the orbital strike from Zest. Currently holding elbow. Has to stay alive. Prowler in the face of RB. The snap out on Amaj is clean. And RB's left alone. The safety valve gone. He's gotten it down to 1. Looking for the target, and it's not able to land. Mr. Fallen with 3 in another round for Foot.
So well handled for Foot. When the opportunities present themselves, they're ripping off the faces, but have to be critical of DRX there. They had 2 key ults, not a single one used. They were in position to still win that. They had control of Elbow. And there's no Brimstone ult to support RB on the site. There's no Molly coming in from Zest. Why is Zest even peeking in that case? Why isn't he wrapping around?
I was just thinking that. I don't understand the peek.
Mako laughing at the situation right now. When he's been the most consistent factor so far for DRX in this tournament specifically. Yes, overall too. One of the most storied controllers, but they're not doing anything to interrupt Foot doing this exact thing over and over and over.
Countless amount of rounds now where they send 3 through showers. This time it's a bit of an adjustment because Krax is rotated off, but they've gained the space. And once again, they have them surrounded. They have them corralled and controlled.
They get this position every time with no util.
Yeah. It's just so free. And because DRX don't even have someone holding in spawn, they can't comfortably take teleporter and go back showers. Complete ignorance as to what's on the other side.
Okay. Giving up the site again, though. This time Mako has his ult.
I mean, Foot has 4, though, as a counter.
Nightfall could be huge as well. With the Viper Pit up.
This punch that Foot have to throw back isn't just a jab.
Look at Stacks. Traded ults all around right now.
He's gone so far up. It's going to be 1 for 1.
The Molly's gone, though. That Brim ult gone again.
Foot still has so many tools. They have the Orbital Strike, that's 1. They have the Pit, they have the Nightfall, 2. Everything dumped into this. Numbers still up. Foot now pushing forward, trying to jump out of the site. And it's Chaotic, Stacks, and Mako, the 2 that remain. The defuse is almost gotten to half, but it's interrupted. Mako, 1v3, and that's the round. Foot get another.
What is going on with DRX? That's 2 rounds in a row now. They get the B site. They should be able to set up very well. We know how good they are in post plans. It's just not working today. Stacks there needs to get that kill before Zest falls into his post plant lineup position. Didn't use his ult, didn't use his Molly. Mako on the site there is only meant to buy time for that second layer. But it's getting ripped apart before they even get to peel the onion.
Blinded.
Finally, some adaptation. A slightly later flash, but honestly, it doesn't do very much to dissuade.
Kiwi 16-6, by the way, definitely his best performance so far this half. Gonna look like the best half for Foot.
Second flash now, used by Stacks towards showers.
Finally, he's looking to stop them from getting that flank off every single time.
And it's nuanced in how he did it. I mentioned earlier, it was a slightly later flash. He'd been using it off the gate. This time, a little bit later, just a few seconds to see if there's anyone coming up, and the second to confirm. But he gives the space back up.
So happy to say dry fights again, and Buzz is dead.
That nade causing some problems. The Trailblazer out. They have hookah control as well here. It's a little bit of a stronger push, but they can play through the smokes. The toggling of utility is so nice by the controllers. He's gonna try to funnel his way out. Can they hold the line once more? Numbers big for Foot, and they're just getting better.
30 seconds left.
Zest subbed in into a 1v4. Face of Showstopper, a Prowler. There's nothing he can do.
A 9-3 half. Not what you expected to start off this game. DRX is in big trouble, and the only word I can think of is yikes.
That's just brutal. That's just brutal while Foot with full control. And again, is it because there's a little bit more levity in the camp, given that they've qualified for champs? I have no idea, but it's working. Golden Boy, I mean, is there a way for DRX to get back into this thing?
Well, in order for me to not seem like a complete ding-dong, I hope they have a chance.
No,
No?
there is not.
Nice.
Foot looked like
I know.
Foot looked like a totally different tier team on blind. Like they're just showers pushing every time, flank retaking, the post plants are getting punished. It's all gone to pot.
It's all gone wrong. I mean, DRX are giving them so many individual ones. Like the instances like this. RB, by the way, has got 2 teammates behind him on B long. Nobody's with him when he's making this play, pushing onto the side. When Buzz goes down, they've got no way to get back into it. They are giving Foot exactly what they want, which is these individual one-on-ones at every point in time. Look at this. They're all over the place. Stax is having to re-clear down short because they don't have control of it. At this instance in the round, they're able to just push up and play freely, take these individual duels. I think the crazy thing is, we haven't even gotten to the side of this map right now for Foot, where I think they look most impressive. It's where they start to really play of those unique timings.
True. And take a look at how bad these stats are for the double controller on this map. And when did you ever see Mako having a bad performance like this? He went 0-0-7. He was out here James Bonding it, and then he went 0-0-8 and only got 3 kills towards the end, overtaking Zest. It's so uncomfy out there.
You could see how much he felt like he had to make plays as well, with the constant lurking down short as well. It's almost like he couldn't take a back seat and let the rest of his team work the map. He was always trying to push down short to create an opening, feeling that pressure, because he has been that guy. He's been the guy who's had to, the entire team's had to lean on him.
And Foot must just be feeling fantastic right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the vibes in the camp, immaculate. They've already made champs. Now they're 9-3 up over DRX, and DRX are struggling out there.
Yeah.
So Foot, killer instinct, gotta kick in, close out the map. You can close out the close out the series before DRX even have a chance to respond.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Foot are basically feeling themselves, and I don't think DRX have any kind of answers. Let's send it back over, though, to Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. A 6-round lead for Foot as they turn to what Bren was saying on the desk is statistically their more impressive half. While DRX have to figure out, I mean, do we just cut our losses here knowing we have Fracture next or what? Because they just look lost.
Fracture's definitely a strength for them, but I'm looking up at them on the stage, and every single player looks detached from the situation right now.
Smoke's down.
Very quiet. Players not, if there is something being said, they're not really paying attention. They're jumping around. Emotionally, I think it's so tough to be in this position, and it's one they know. They've had many, many disappointments. Never this early, though. And when the entire scene is leveling up, you need to be just there with them. And it's a Stax. Calling a stack on the other side of the map at the B side. 4 players on B, 3 down long, Mako alone.
Knife and Haunt both used.
4 people are gonna go through the TP, following up the dog. Yes, this is okay, but Mr. Fallen's already understanding the situation.
Yeah, and they're just gonna flip the map too.
Okay.
All of Foot go through teleporter, leaving Mr. Fallen to hit what could be a filthy timing. Dissuaded by the wall for just a moment. RB's the only one close by. Yeah, Buzz is in the vicinity, but RB's the one looking at him. They're going to rotate back A.
30 seconds crazy. Left. DRX completely broken on their original idea and what comes in this pistol. Do they even have the ideas to play here?
Knife cleared. Buzz with the spam pushed off the angle. Nade in his face. RB now understanding there is some presence. He gets the kill. The patience pays off. Now with 13 seconds left, the spike still hasn't been sent out. It's still trying to push its way out from short. They're getting the openings. Can Buzz play spoiler in the face of the smoke? He gets the kill. But you're right. Just a little over a second.
And they also have the Boombot to help them clear back down short and get into lamps.
DRX need this moment. They need this pistol. Sax needs to convert, and he cannot. Foot up to 10.
Both pistols for Foot. Yeah, they got ecoed last time, but look at this streak of rounds. They're up to 10. 10 rounds with 8 in a row is just ridiculous. And Josh is right. The DRX or the Foot camp is just so happy right now.
Just loose. All smiles.
Complete shift in what we've been seeing from them at this tournament so far, even in the game that they won yesterday. That's a surprise.
We back to our first half antics here.
Oh, Spike is not picked up right now. Krax has to make a mad dash for it. DRX not taking extra space off of that though. Thinking that they need to get back over towards A through Spawn to group up rather and make a conceded, a complete front. Rather than relying on the lurks, which will be split up.
Krax on the plant, DRX on the attempted retake. They have the Bulldog in the hands of Zest. An interesting decision in and of itself. You see that late Viper Wall go down for Mako. Mr. Fallen with the seize. The timing on that's perfect.
What a seize. That's 3 players all tethered.
The delay is great. Mr. Fallen backing on up. Krax holding the angle from bench, trying to find another. As the tap has already started, they're overwhelming them. They've gotten it to half. Now the reset, and now the fight. Kiwi on the snap, Kiwi on the shots. He gets 3 on the round, and they asked for it. Where was it coming? It's coming courtesy of Kiwi 1. Killer instinct activated.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Going for the jugular right now. Anti-eco, they lose the first kill. So ready for the sneaky antics of DRX. Honestly, at this point, they're going to have to rely on stuff like that. It's just stealing the rounds away. Because nothing else is falling for them.
And
no of the kills.
Concerning thing, too, is it felt like they were trying to do that in the first half.
Yeah.
All right, again, Mako trying to lurk. James bonding, as Josh said.
We're referring to the score line, but you're right. He definitely was trying to get up there.
Prowler in his face. No showers control again. But Foot with a bit more to work with. Silence, and there it is. They tried to use the showstopper Buzz, looking to greet them early. Kiwi, is he gonna find a target? No! The show stopped! Zest with 3, that was clean!
Finally! Some life out of the substitution. The 6th man for this team. Honestly, at this point, not even. He's got more play time than Foxy at these global events. Kiwi really lost in that situation, though.
Yeah.
Not able to find the guy at 2. That should have been the first thing he cleared. Have to swing it back. Have to have a momentum. Lift up here for DRX. And it's got to come from everybody. Mako and Zest in particular, the double controller combination that we were talking about.
Poison's off.
No early space taken from DRX this time. A peek towards showers.
Toxin, poison,
I mean, even Buzz shallowly holding Hookah. But all afoot are up A short, and they're trampling their way forward into U-Haul.
Again, that confidence showing. They get through all the way to lamps. No information from DRX until now. That nade gonna force him out of position.
That's a miserable area to hold, man. It's just so difficult. No real room to escape, and he's overwhelmed by the utility.
That's a great follow-up orb there, actually, from Maj. Look how deep it is onto triple. So tough.
Zest clearing out the Haunt, clearing out Kiwi. He was hot in the previous round. Can he continue? Stacks falling.
RB. Flash went in the TP.
Yeah, that's not what the intent was. RB with 2. Spam expecting to pre-fire, and Buzz finds the timing on Mr. Fallen. It's all Maj by himself. RB's gotten it to half. Maj is healthy! And that's another pivotal round to Red Bull clutch for Foot.
Over and over. You're seeing these close rounds, these close situations fall for Foot. They look great today.
And there's really, to what you were saying, these pivotal situations, not a single one going in favor of DRX. Well, that's not true. I guess I think about Stacks and his 2K with the Sheriff in the first half, like that second round.
Every second round.
Other than that, it's just been a dry desert.
Yeah. desolate. And I honestly don't even think Foot has been forced to show much depth.
No.
If I'm DRX, I need to stop them from having so much confidence. Force them to rely on some of the things that they plan to play coming into this. Perhaps Foot came in with a shift completely in attitude and said, let's just build our confidence. Let's build up this drive fight type of thing that we're taking. Remember, that round they walk up completely up short. Yes, there's the Viper wall, there's the orb blocking. But after that, you see just pieces, individual pieces of utility that they're able to use to force fights, force aim duels into the back of sight.
That's got to be miserable to be on the receiving end of.
For DRX to be losing to basically just that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not really something that, I mean, yes, strategy can definitely overtake that. Just some good defensive crossfires, for example. Good util combos, but right now, none of that is to be found for DRX. And you also have to find the timings for it, and Foot is playing in such a way that it's tough to find them. Too suppressed.
Max on the other side of the smoke, not winning an opener.
Come on, man. There it is again. He just ran through the smoke.
Just dry, just aim diffing, and it's from top to bottom. I mean, yeah, Kiwi's done most of it, but that's the plan for Foot, and it's working.
Even something like that, there's no punish on him being in that corner, no spam to follow up from Mako.
Yep. No help at all. There was a dry fight, that one going in favor of Buzz. It was labored.
Yeah, interesting too. Mosh has been winning a majority of those types of situations, but their ADS up close. It has to rely on the spray too. Not the type of situation you're looking for.
No.
But either way, like, I think they're chilling here. Regrouping again. They know Buzz is alone on the site.
And he's weak. After that difficult fight, just 32 HP. Has a showstopper. Very reminiscent of what we saw just a few moments ago where there was a timing hidden short.
Here it is, dry walk up. Finally a haunt in the back of sight, clears everything.
The knife too, not catching Buzz. Kiwi's looking for it. It's another kill.
Big ults. Zest infesting his, Buzz has his as well. RB with the KO.
10 seconds left.
Spike now down. Side control in favor of Foot for now, but it seems like a weak grip. DRX snatching it out of their hands. Cracks on trade. Showstopper still in play, and it looks like he's trying to hold it. He succeeds. Carries it into the next round.
Crucial to do that sort of thing there. I thought there was a chance for Mosh, final play remaining.
Yeah.
As he was run spraying. If he got that first kill, maybe could have adjusted. Oh, that was a long time for Buzz to be able to readjust and get that kill. The crazy part too is if they didn't throw that Haunt, if they continued to dry walk all the way up, they would have got value. There's no way for them to know completely that Buzz is alone there. But with the amount of space that he took early to take that duel in the first place against Maj, and the original contact that they had over towards B as well.
TRX with a showers push. Mr. Fallen waiting on the other side with the Sheriff. He spot a shoulder there.
And it's just Sheriffs too.
Sheriff's in a classic for Ada Captain.
This can't be the round that DRX lose the map on. They can't lose to a Thrifty.
I mean, given how things started, it would be a fascinating bookend, would it not? Utility primed and invested. See that smoke used. U-Haul control still in favor of Foot. And the consistent contact play just continues, and there you go, RB finding big ones, looking for the third with the Vandal, cannot. Kiwi on the trade.
Smoke extends so far out that Zest has an angle to play with too.
Mr. Fallen, potential for a 1v3. As soon as that smoke goes down, the molly follows the spam. Mr. Fallen just unable to get out.
30 seconds left. There.
As time dissipates. Yeah. See if you can find a free one.
Not spammable on that angle. Taking the orb does nothing either if he wants to fall anyways. And he does have to.
10 seconds left.
A formality as the round closes. DRX get up to 6. Yes, it was just sheriffs, it was just pistols for Foot. But it's those kind of rounds that you need to get through, and you need to get through cleanly, and that's exactly what DRX do.
I think those last 2 rounds finally are starting to shift in my eyes. The sort of form that DRX is showing up with. It's improving, but slowly. RB coming up. There's been a couple of multi-kills. To build that confidence back up, it needs to be coming through consistently. It's a map that they've been struggling with over and over back in Pacific.
Oh, they're going.
Oh, it's so slow. What?
And it's canceled.
You know he has the ult.
He's perhaps just guessing on where he might be. I don't know.
I mean, he messed up the satchel there, it looked like. That needs to be an instant shot out when the KO ult is up.
Off the exchange of ultimates, Foot reset. And as we've seen before, it's just context, it's just stride. They want to go up short. Now Nightfall used. He's going to attack 2 if I'm not mistaken. Kiwi with the kill with the nade.
How many paint shell kills is he going to get?
Too many. Too many, more than he should.
Big follow-up ults here for Foot as well. There's one used.
Trying to go up top. I mean, we're just getting teased with these showstoppers not going off. Mako and RB holding it back. They can still do this. This is a 2v2. Spike in hand. Yeah, 35 seconds left. RB could be rezzed.
30 seconds left.
Is that going to bait the swing out? Sax is creeping forward, but he's flashed. It's all on to Cracks, and Sax gets 2. Somehow, DRX have gotten up to 7.
Where is this sort of thing coming from finally from DRX? I love that final play, tapping the pickup on the KO downed. Stax creeps up close. He's not affected by that flash. You got the Nightfall there. In between timings where Zest has to put down his smoke, it's impossible for him to get away from the nade. And Stax with the finishing. Touches on that one though. Back into the round. Much quicker approach here from Foot.
I think it's just exploratory, though. The spike is just now being scooped up. Maj has already fallen.
Maj has died to spam down short through the orb.
Foot once again calling breaks on the situation. Leaving Kiwi. As the trap, it's just the Sheriff.
Does spot them, falls off of it. Very clean so far against this light bot. And they have completely reset the ult cycle for Foot. They thought they were about to end the game last round. Remember, that showstopper was used, Brim ult was used, Nightfall was used. Maj still has his pit. But other than that, it's fully dry.
It's a nice one out with a Singer onto Stax. Still 4 rifles remain for DRX.
30 seconds left.
Buzz with another, the deep nade, unaware of the fact that Captain's up close, but it does not matter.
Toxin screen down.
Another round for DRX.
Uncle might have known he was in that corner. That's why he puts the wall down, and he's happy to hold that.
Yeah.
It's a dual angle hold, too, against the long peak or the person who's stuck in that. As long as he's not on the right. Again, well done from all of us. You saw the spam at the beginning of the round, taking down Maj. It is only that pit to deal with, and DRX will start to get even tools, like the Seekers Online, to help against that. A counter pit as well if they ever do give up the site. So far, it's not really falling for them.
4 rounds in a row for the defense, 5 of the last 6. The attempted ferocious comeback continues.
Ooh, going out.
Fallen getting pushed off, and he's dead.
There's the little microaggression that you need to start punishing these dry walks from Foot. You are forcing depth to come out of Foot strap hook now. Absolutely. Seekers pops. That scares me a little bit. There's no more tool to force against this Viper's Pit if it does get used.
Remember how good Buzz was in the previous round. Still alive, still healthy. It seems like they may be pushing into him. Whether or not they commit on the safe short hit.
Looks like they're marking to Farhan when Mr. Fallen's dead.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Oh, that's up close! Buzz with another! Buzz with two! You believe yet?
It might be happening. Streak of 5. This is supposed to be Foot's better side. They started off by getting up to match point. It was 12-4. I think everybody's starting to hold their breath for this. I think DRX knows it's actually possible now. A tone shift in the last few rounds. Even at the beginning of any single one of these rounds that they won. Multi-kill, multi-kill, multi-kill.
They've changed their setup just a little bit. Buzz is playing up top, and it's actually Zest who's holding U-Haul. The slow methodical approach might be the answer this time, maybe? Maybe it's the pistols, or perhaps it's just going to be more DRX just cleaning him up. Flash out of the smoke as he tries to tuck into bench, and he's caught. That's a weapon in the hands of Kiwi. Zest tucking. They've lost showers. Kiwi's so weak, and Zest knows he's passed right by the Roomba.
Oh my goodness.
But Kiwi's still running away. Paranoid of the pressure. Zest giving up the exploratory efforts at the worst possible time.
They're gonna need to smoke the spike and start to try to get a defuse going. Force them to come out of their hiding holes. Pit available for Mako, that could help.
8 HP. I mean, do you invest it here? No one goes potentially. It's safe to spam, and another kill for Mako. 8 HP, 8 bullets, Stacks in half. He has to pull off. Can Stacks do a 1v3 by himself? He's trying to get knifed, and he cannot. Of course, it's a Thrifty that closes map 1. But walk away with the win, 13-9.
Right as you believed.
It's all a bait.
A fake comeback. What a surprise. What a game from Foot. That first half put them in just unbelievably good position. This team on the other side, though, they came back to life. You cannot deny that. They looked absolutely flat at the beginning. And clearly uncomfortable on that map. On that stage, on that situation. With elimination possible. The first time in almost 2 years that could happen for DRX. Still possible now. In fact, even more possible as we go on to map 2. But I have to say, they came swinging back. Buzz was active. Mako started getting active a little bit. Zest particularly. A few of those multi-kills.
Well, and I think to both of those, Mako and Zest, the two controllers, were the ones who struggled tremendously in the first half. So you're right. I think them coming back was a large contributing factor to the fake comeback, which is what it was. But you're right, Buzz continued to feel it. He was feeling very good. 19 and 18 when all things subside.
I'll mostly give it to RB as well, too.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yep.
Consistently delivering at this point for this team. But for Foot, they came in with a plan. They came in with the idea that they can duel over and over against this team. And they're happy. Mr. Fallen said they should be fearing us, not the other way around, which is an absurd amount of confidence for a team that has never qualified for one of these international events, that has never made playoffs at a global tournament. Whereas DRX is so storied. But they're still up 1-0.
They're up 1-0. Fracture on the other side of this break. We'll see you guys there.
Nice. Nice. One more.
Thank you.
Have you ever asked yourself after a bad game, what am I missing? Or sought help from impatient friends? Or browsed desperately for answers that only bring up more questions? Your self-doubting days are over with Discovery, the first game-focused AI. Discovery is trained on the world's leading esports athletes to be your everyday personal coach. That's right, Discovery can help you improve your gameplay by giving you tips and strategies to take your game to the next level. Get started at aimlabs.com/discovery.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.